And I don't know, are they not here? I don't ever look at viewer stuff. It feels weird to me to look at like viewer list names and stuff. Maybe they felt bad about spoil. Hey Rain, maybe they felt bad about it. I didn't say. Now I will say I feel like the language you were using made it kind of hinted towards that I didn't want spoilers, but I mean, it's not like it's not someone's responsibility to infer that, so it is what it is. Maybe they felt bad, which I hope they didn't. I don't want them to feel bad. It's not that big a deal. Oh, gonna play Deadlock, leaving capable hands of Rain. Hello. Rain has capable hands. Yes, we're starting this is an intervention. Play more chunk. Okay, that's our intervention. Did we succeed? Are you gonna play more chunk? I'm sorry I didn't make a giant intervention sign to hang up. Maybe Brighter Shores is making you want to RuneScape. Okay, I'm saying it this time, but please do not spoil Brighter Shores for me. As I know Rain is aware, because we just talked about it recently, I'm usually a guided gamer, but Brighter Shores, I'm trying to experience I'm trying to have a non-guided, no walkthrough, no spoiler experience and see if maybe I'm a changed person now. Maybe those days are behind me of only wanting to follow guides. I can tell you so far, I've hated not having a guide. I've gotten very frustrated having to constantly backtrack and run in circles because I'm not going where I'm supposed to be. But some people like that, I guess. And I'm trying to see if maybe I will start liking it. But I'm stuck on one of the little side quest things, and through no fault of their own, spectator a spectator told me where the next step in the quest I'm stuck on is. I did not tell them that I was trying to go spoiler free. Brightest Shores is a fairly guided experience. I don't entirely agree with you, but that's okay. Because specifically with where I'm stuck, even Bruce has said himself that it is a very common sticking point. Like a lot of people have been talking about how they've gotten stuck here. So unless he was just saying that to make me feel better about myself, which I don't see Bruce doing that, it's a pretty common get stuck point. I'm not super far. I've I've done hold on. I did the main quest up until you have to get like 15 combat to use a bow. And then I was like, since I don't have the combat level, I'm gonna do some side quest things or the little star quests. And so I did the first star quest where you have to repair the little arch thing. I finished that. Um, and then I finished that, got a bunch of combat XP, and I started the next side quest thingy. And I'm stuck on trying to find the fetid flounder. And that's why I say I disagree with the guided experience. Because with you saying it's a fairly guided experience, at least in that part, because I have talked to the guy. I've done every dialogue option of the guy that gives you the quest and tells you about the flounder. The only thing he tells you is that you need to get fishing supplies from the store, which I already have a harpoon. And I went and talked to the fish stall guy and did all of his dialogue options. Did not say anything about the fetid flounder. I've went to the actual fishing store, done all of his dialogue options. Did not say anything about a fetid flounder. I talked to all of the patrons in the fishing supply store. They did not say anything about a fetid flounder. I went to the skill guide and I scrolled through all 500 skill levels and all the different types of fish for the harpoon, and there's no fetid flounder listed in there. So, yeah. Yeah, that's where I am. I'm trying to figure out the fetid flounder, which, like, have you done that one already? Have you already done the fetid flounder? No, but you know about already? You're not doing fishing until you enchant your spirit. See, I don't even know what you're talking. I don't even know what that means. I've done no, like I said, I've done no research, no looking into anything, so I don't even know what enchanting your spear is. I'll figure it out eventually, though. I want to try and do things on my own. I have a feeling it might make me hate the game because I'm pretty. I feel like I'm self-aware. Like I know what things I feel like I know what I like. I know what I don't like, and I've been that way for a very long time. And just doing some fact checking on myself. Maybe I'm different now. Maybe I don't know myself. I don't know. All right, I've got to pay my employees. That was as vague as you could be without spoiling. I appreciate it. Like I know I saw in the level up guide, and I'm not asking, I'm just, thinking out loud. Hey, hit points level. I'm 72 hit points. Woohoo! Um, yeah, so this is not me asking, I'm just thinking out loud. I know I've already done the quest where you fix the arch, so I know about, like, having to put weapons in there so they're good in the area. And then I also know that once you get to a certain like fishing level or skill level, you can get an upgraded version, like fishing spear. Once you get to a certain level fishing, it's like a fishing spear +1 or something like that. I'm literally $100 away from paying all my bills. That's a little annoying. Been there a few times, $100 away from paying your bills. Yeah, same. Not my favorite. I haven't been that way in a long time though. I'm doing pretty good now, but there was a time. I already checked the store. What am I doing? Alright. Let's do another day. I don't know what happens if that hits 0, honestly. I don't know if I'm about to, like, start the next day and have no electricity. That's what the sun's for. Okay, it's due today, so I'll be fine. Cool. So I take it you are looking up things? Like, you apparently knew about this enchanting your spear. Have I just not gotten to the point for them to explain that yet? Or... And if you can't answer something I ask without spoiler issues, then you could just say, sorry, it's a spoiler. You talk to literally every NPC you find. I guess I just don't have the patience to do that, because the few I've talked to that weren't from the main story literally told me nothing. And I was just like, why am I talking to you right now? I am curious about this whole enchanting thing you speak of, though. I'm curious when I'll find out about it, because, like I said, the only thing I could think of is if it's the little... I forgot what it was called. The arch thing. If it's using it on the arch thing, or if it's the spear plus one. The map tells you about enchanting spears. You found out about it right out the gate, just missed the info. I'm curious. I also think my definition of something being obvious and telling you is very different from your definition of being obvious and telling you. Because you say the game is fully guided and obvious and tells you everything, but you're talking to every single NPC and you're examining the map and you're doing all these extra things. That's more than just the game being obvious and telling you, in my opinion. The quest of the obelisk, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I wonder if it's... That was one of my things, was I literally said I wonder if it's using the spear with the obelisk. Eh. I'm not gonna lie, I pulled up Brighter Shores on the side to look at the map to try and figure out what you're referring to. And still haven't seen it yet. Like you're based off of what you're saying, I'm looking for a label on the map that says this is where you enchant your fishing pole. Please come here now. And I've yet to see that anywhere. I mean, I see an enchantress shop. And if you're talking about the enchantress shop, I would still disagree with you on that then. Because that's not saying it says I can enchant my spear, but where do I enchant my spear? I don't think that's the same thing. So, at what point did the game volunteer the information that? Hold on, let me actually talk this. Yeah, at what point did the game volunteer without you having to talk to anyone extra, or you having to read any extra guides outside of the game? Did it tell you that an enchantress enchants a spear? So when you talked to the so when you decided to go in the shop and then you decided to talk to the NPC, that's not in a quest, not it's not a quest requirement to talk to her. It's not in a tutorial to talk to her. It doesn't even tell you to go in that shop at all. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying that like I shouldn't have known that or that it's not an obvious concept. Sure it is. But I also don't think it's fair to say that it is a guided game and tells you exactly what to do and then expect someone to just know to go there and do that. I think that's disingenuous. If you don't engage with content, you can't get upset about missing things. I'm not upset about missing things. I'm just disagreeing with what your concept of obvious is. That's all I'm trying to get across. Is you say you said, I mean, I can scroll up if I need to reread. I'm not sure how far back it was, but you said it's a fairly guided experience. The map tells you it's labeled. You found out about it right out the gate. I've somehow missed it. Because I've done the obelisk quest, I should know about it. Like, if it was any more hand-holding than the NPC literally saying, I provide this service and I'm labeled on the map, it would be the yellow printed ladder situation. I don't know what the yellow printed ladder situation that you're speaking of is, but it's, I would call that a tutorial. That's like what tutorials are in the game. They would say, this is the enchantress shop. You can bring, because like games I've played, I don't know that I've ever played a game where you can enchant a skilling item. I've played games where you can enchant armor and you can enchant weapons, but I don't know that I've ever played a game that enchants skilling items. I mean, that's okay. I mean, it's okay to have a disagreement of opinion. Like, a lot of action RPGs will paint ladders and climbing ledges with yellow paint to guide a player that they can climb that surface and should in order to progress. I think that's a great idea in the early stages of a game when someone's trying to do like a tutorial area or trying to learn what the game is about. I'm a fan of that. Like, oh, I've never played this game before. I am brand new to it. You hate that so much you don't care how early in the game is? Yeah, different opinions. Which, I mean, we've already had multiple conversations about how we think very differently on almost everything about games. I feel like there is very little we agree with when it comes to games. But the reason I just went so deep into the whole being obvious is because I just disagree with what you believe obvious is. And I find it disingenuous for you to say that was an obvious thing when there's no tutorial about it, no guide about it, no quest talking about it. Like, I have no past experience that leads me to believe an enchantress would enchant a spear. Now, if you mentioned, like, enchanting gear or enchanting armors, I'd have been like, oh, okay, enchantress for that. But I have nothing that I've ever played that enchants skilling items. You play games for the lore and stories, so you explore and engage with almost everything. You had no reason to think she enchanted skilling items, but knew an enchantress would probably enchant something, so you checked the NPC to see what they could do. And she was like, give me your spear. Yeah, I never went and talked to her. I was under the impression, I was like, the game will tell me. I was like, the game will give me like a tutorial of some sort. Just like it did with equipping items. Like, every action RPG and MMO has a backpack with swords, and has a gear screen and like has inventory. They all have inventories. They all have equipment screens. And yet at the beginning of Brighter Shore explains to you how to equip your sword. So like it'd make more I would understand more at not telling me how to equip my weapon than at not telling me how to use the enchantress. I just got 79 strength. Yay me. Yeah, I'm also like I know you already know this about me, but like I didn't even do Desert Treasure 2 for like a month till like a month after it came out because I waited for the quest helper. I was like, I'll do it when the quest helper comes out. I don't feel like doing it on my own. I have these. May not start. Your idea of guided is do this thing, do this thing, do this thing. Now get this total skill level however you want within this confined area. So you go do those things and begin trying to get those skill levels and process find quests that say get this level to progress / finish quests. So far you've not had to piece together anything, but again you interact with everything. So for me to say something is fully guided, then you wouldn't have to interact with anything on your own unless it was that advances you in the game. If it's a fully guided experience, then any requirement or anything that advances you in the game, it would tell you about. And telling you about it can be in a quest journal. It can be an exclamation point above their head. I didn't claim it'd be fully guided, just fairly guided. True. And that's whenever I said that we have a difference of opinion on what that means. You lose interest in games that tell you exactly what to do very quickly. How'd you get past Tutorial Island? You were 11? Oh, that's supposed to be sleeves, not packs. Oh, I don't have any more. Do I have red decks? So this is something you've, like, grown into. You haven't always been this way.